For many English learners of different levels, speaking is one of the hardest things to do. And the reason, you could have many reasons, but the main reason would be you feel nervous, you feel shy. But it could also be a bit difficult to create all of these different sentences from scratch every single time you engage in a conversation. So today I want to give you top 10 ready structures and templates that you can start using right away. Of course, you will complete them with your information, but you don't need to reinvent all these sentences from scratch. You just add your own thing. So if you're ready, let's begin. Let's start with a very broad, but also very specific and difficult category, which is talking about yourself. Talking about yourself could be weird, cringy, difficult, or all of the above, but it doesn't have to be. So here are your sentences. Number 1, if you want to talk about your hobbies or interests, here's how you can begin. I'm really into, and then hear me out. Now, you're going to use either a noun or verb plus ing, which we call a gerund. For example, I'm really into swimming. I'm really into surfing. I'm really into verb ing. You can take this and use it to talk about your hobbies and interests in any situation. Let's start practicing in the comments. What are you into? Let me know. Now, moving on. Number 2, we can use this one right here to talk about activities that take up a big part of your life in a good way or a bad way, whatever works for your situation. And this one is, I spend a lot of time plus, and here you're going to add verb plus ing. Verb ing. I spend a lot of time sleeping. I spend a lot of time working. I spend a lot of time worrying about what people think of me. I don't know. So depending on the context of your situation and what you're trying to say, it could be negative or positive. It's up to you here. You have all the freedom to decide. Do you want to practice everything we've learned in this video so far and even more? Well, check out the link in the description box down below, as well as the pinned comment where you can practice all these things for free and also learn a little more. Check it out. Next, if you want to talk about something that you're currently working on or improving, you can use this one right here. I've been trying to plus verb, just base form of the verb. I've been trying to sleep better. I've been trying to study more. I've been trying to practice English. I've been trying to, whatever the case may be. Just remember, use a verb here. I've been trying to do. This one really shows people that it is something, whatever that verb is, this action is something you're actively doing, actively improving, or currently working on. Next, when you want to talk about your hobbies or routines, or sometimes preferences, you can use this one. I usually plus verb. And here you also use just the base form of the verb. I usually go to sleep at 10 p.m. I usually go for a run in the morning. I usually walk my dog twice a day, whatever you want to talk about. Usually, as you know, it's an adverb of frequency, means, most of the time, almost always. So when you want to talk about your daily routines or schedules or preferences about life, for example, I usually don't do it this way, or something like that, this is your best friend right here. The next portion is for sharing your opinion, because I do see a lot of very stiff things that people use, like in my opinion, which there's nothing wrong with that. It is very stiff though. It's something you would write in a paper or essay, but in real life, you want to spice it up and you want to use different things. So in my opinion, I'm not saying forget about it completely, just let's explore some different things you can use to express your opinion. For example, I feel like, and then you just proceed with your opinion or take. You express your opinion or feelings naturally. I feel like something. I feel like I can't something, whatever the case may be. Here you would know better what to put because it is your opinion and your feelings. So don't overthink it. There's no specific structure. Just go into whatever you're trying to say after that. Next, I'd say, and then you give your opinion or maybe even a guess. You're trying to guess something. Give your best guess. I'd say they're going to be late. Next, personally, and then you go with your subject verb, your regular sentence. This way you sort of make it clear that it is your own personal opinion and not a fact or something backed by something else. Next, the way I see it, and then you give your opinion or perspective on something. The way I see it, and you want to put the emphasis on I. The way I see it, especially when you're arguing. That's how you argue in a very classy way. Next, when you are trying to provide or give information that you're not 100% sure or certain about, here's how you can begin this sentence. As far as I know, and then you give it. As far as I know, something, something. So this way you sort of preface, well, I'm not 100% sure. This is just my limited knowledge of this. So as far as I know, blah, blah, blah. Use it, take it, run with it, try it today. And the last one for today is a bit random, but I think it'll be very, very useful because I don't hear a lot of English learners saying stuff like this. You know when you tell someone a story and you want to make it very dramatic, not dramatic, but very suspenseful and interesting, and you want to clearly label things and parts of your story, but also you want to prepare people for unexpected, turns of events or something like that. So this one is perfect for that. When something happened suddenly and unexpectedly, and you want to move your story to the next important event when you talk about it, here's what you should use. The next thing I knew, and then you continue. It has this vibe of, the next part of the story was unexpected and it was very fast and I didn't even see it coming or I didn't even expect it. The next thing I knew, something, something. It'll really help your storytelling and people will be very engaged and have fun listening to your stories. Because being a storyteller and being good at telling stories is a big part of fluency. So go ahead, take these, and like I said earlier, if you want to practice these things and learn even more of them, you can check out the link in the description box down below as well as in the pinned comment. You can practice these things for free. Nothing. Just go and enjoy. And this is everything I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and leave a comment. What do you want to see next? Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.